ceremony will begin soon. Please take your seats. We ask that guests remain seated during the ceremony to avoid blocking anyone's view of the stage. Graduates, please don't forget to collect your certificate and transcript from the Aston Webb Lecture Theatre after the ceremony is finished. Thank you, congratulations, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduates today is a part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. The music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the Guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits, or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. A quick shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. This is a mixture of graduands who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, your encouragement, pep talks and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied, but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Soon, our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. Now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by 2 mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation, students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a Provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
I declare the congregation open.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you all, and welcome to Birmingham. My name is William Bloss, and as Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of College for Life and Environmental Sciences, it's my great pleasure to welcome you, to welcome our graduands sitting at the back of the hall, and friends, family and supporters in front of me to this graduation ceremony. We are delighted that you've been able to join us today. Today is a day of real celebration. It's an opportunity to reflect on the dedication and perseverance and excellence that you have demonstrated through your journey at the university. You're now part of a long tradition of excellence and of innovation. Since our founding in 1900 as the first civic university, Birmingham has been a place that welcomes students from all backgrounds on an equal basis. As a university, we're committed to serving the public good and advancing social progress. This year, we've been especially proud to reflect on our 125-year legacy since the university was founded in the year 1900, and together we've celebrated this special milestone in memorable ways. Some of you may remember seeing Old Joe, our clock tower, lit up in vibrant colours at the start of the year. And now as the year draws to a close, the clock tower is lit up again, and again becoming something of a beacon of light that proudly shares our celebration with our city. You may have enjoyed our campus community festival and open-air concert in July, where thousands of our community came together to celebrate. And it's hard to imagine now, but as the sun set, the university's Philharmonic and jazz orchestras were joined by special guest performers to deliver a tribute to Birmingham's rich musical heritage, from the elegance of Elgar to the eccentricities of ELO. It was a celebration that was proudly Brummie and unmistakably ours. And only a few days ago, last week, many of us gathered outside this great hall to experience a light and projection show that told some of the stories of the university, stories about excellence and innovation. And those stories highlighted how our researchers shape policy and improve lives and contribute to the health and well-being of communities around the world. The next achievements in that story may be yours, the graduands here, as you go on to shape the world around us. It's your choices now and your actions which have the power to make a difference to the world. So I'd say to you, choose to make that difference a positive one and a kind one. But today, I'm inspired by what you've already achieved. There are those among you who've been with us for several years, studying for an undergraduate degree or undertaking a higher or professional apprenticeship. Some of you have dedicated the last few years to original research, contributing to discovery, and are here to be awarded your PhD. For those of you who've studied a master's programme, your time with us may be shorter, and you may have had differing periods on campus, studying in a workplace or elsewhere. But for all of you, you embarked on that journey with us, with Birmingham, because you trusted that it would expand your knowledge, that maybe it would allow you to take the next step in your career, and maybe because you were driven by curiosity or wanted to make a contribution to your subject or to society as a whole. And you made that decision to come here and study with us, despite what were undoubtedly challenges and maybe even sacrifices that lay ahead. Those are easy words, but we know that for some of you, that meant leaving your home countries, it meant leaving family and friends, and embracing a new culture and a new life here in Birmingham. While others of you will have balanced studies with work, with family life, and all the other responsibilities. And your ability to manage those challenges and to overcome those obstacles and achieve your goals is testament to that resilience and determination and commitment. But we know the compromises and the sacrifices to get you here today won't have been yours alone. And as I look across the Great Hall and look out at the audience here, there are many people I can see with very proud faces. Some of them seem to have something in their eye or a lump in their throat, but they will all be hugely proud as you walk up onto the stage to graduate. So graduands, you will all have that person, those people who believed in you, people who supported you, who showed you kindness and made sacrifices alongside you, and maybe without whom you wouldn't be here. So I'd like to ask the graduands, those sat at the back of the hall, if you'd like to get to your feet, please. So stand up, graduands at the back, and please give a huge cheer and a huge round of applause to everyone sitting in front of you who has supported you. Thank you. Thank you. Please take your seats. So that's quite good, but you do need to get louder as we go on. Okay. I'd also just like to take a moment to acknowledge those from the university who've played a crucial role in your achievements. So sitting behind me, you can see some members of our academic community, the lecturers and professors who've taught you and nurtured your creativity and helped you to question and explore. And you will also have been supported by many other people at the university in front of and behind the scenes. And I'd like to invite you now just to take a moment to thank the university community who's supported you to this day. Okay, so our clapping is warming up. So, soon you will come up onto the stage and Professor Adam Tickell, our Vice-Chancellor and Principal, will admit you to your degrees. That will be your moment, that will be your graduation when your name is read out. And family and friends, that is your cue to make a lot of noise, please. So, my final piece of advice is to be careful on the steps, give a big smile for the cameras, and if you can, don't forget to savour that moment. My warmest congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands walk across the stage to collect their scroll from the presiding officer.
Good afternoon. I'm Professor Suzanne Higgs and I'm Head of the School of Psychology, and it's my real privilege to introduce the graduands to you today. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduands as listed in my programme proved worthy to be admitted for their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme to the degrees for which they are to be presented.
College of Life and Environmental Sciences, School of Psychology, Doctor of Philosophy. For research into facial similarity in police identification parades, Tia Bennett. For research into the effects of ageing on multisensory auditory contributions to the processing of tactile sensory information, Aldrin Roy Looms. For research into emotion processing in people with Parkinson's, Molly Francis Gracie. No? For research into neurodevelopmental conditions, Lucy Jane Adams. For research into Black British communities' cultural responses to mental distress, Obajide Aladamarin. For research into young people with an immigration background and their sense of belonging, Monwara Ali. For research into eating disorders and weight gain in psychosis, exploring medication use and personality, Katie Elizabeth Bell. For research into young people's experiences of group therapy and providing care, Kia Grace Bold. For research into African Caribbean familial experiences of seeking help for memory loss, Melissa Brown. For For research into experiences of transgender women who transitioned post-puberty, Kira Luna Hazel Cox. For research into family caregivers of individuals with intellectual disability, Eleanor Drew. For research into Huntington's disease, Jordan Goldsworthy. For research into brain fog in newly diagnosed celiac disease, Jessica Grace Holland. For research into sleep in families of children with rare genetic syndromes and complex health needs, Christelle Klaus. For research into incidental anxiety on social understanding, Joanna Larkin. For research into attention and anxiety in autism and ADHD, Sarah Elizabeth Mardell. For research into men's and young people's experiences of eating disorders, Frances Massey Duckworth. For research into the experiences of men with IDD and HASB, Franca Unyema, sorry. Franca, I'm sorry. For research into self-identity after acquired brain injury, Nicola Parker. For research into the experiences and support needs of parents who have lost children to the care system, Rebecca Riley. For research into the effectiveness of UK social prescribing interventions on mental health and well-being, Chloe Louise Rechanovsky. For research into transgender and gender-diverse people in the UK and the issues affecting them, Leah Sanford Opatz. For research into the relationship between mentalising and anxiety in young adults, Laura Stanford. For research into group therapy for clients with complex trauma, Christina Twomlow. For research into change in sleep for mothers of newborns in the United Kingdom, Lok Yan Edwin Wong. Doctorate in Forensic Psychology Practice. For research into the psychological characteristics, behaviours and interventions for users of child sexual abuse materials, Charlotte Earwaker. Forensic Clinical Psychology Doctorate. For research into self-harm in secure child and adolescent mental health service settings, Jessica Ann Davis. For research into methods employed by perpetrators and reported in testimonies of child sexual abuse by survivors, Helena Goodman. For research into the exploration of psychological interventions in UK prisons, Kellyn Posadas. For research into the effect of retention interval on eyewitness performance, Anaga Sharma. For research into staff risks of those working in a forensic low secure unit, Charlotte Sorenes. For research into adverse childhood experiences and negative mental health outcomes, Doshika Soundararajan. Master of Science, Cognitive Neuroimaging and Data Science, Cognitive Neuroscience. Jamie Cooper. William Geddes. George Harrison. Latisha Daniel Johnson. Konstantina Ladapoulou. Ellie McLaughlin. And just go to 42.
42 is good. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Amina Qayyum. Ellie Sims. Jessica Rose Woods. Nabiha Zahia. Cognitive Neuroimaging and Data Science, Computational Neuroscience, Krishna Prasad Bavaraju. Mohammed Irfan Eshresh. Jessica Overwavy Role Ego. Christopher Mark Fairhurst. Jack Alexander Griffiths. Anne Maria Johnson. Ompajay Karlan. Liba Razak. Henna Amelia Savalainen. Sophia Seridarian. Natalia Socrates. Sophie Vetz. Alexander Zust. Computational Neuroscience and Cognitive Robotics, Patrick Bagansky. Florence Sargent. Nadiha Bibi Vasta. Developmental Neuroscience and Neurodiversity, Evie Allmark. Razia Asmari. Olivia Joan Bailey. Ryan Anthony Durham. Charlotte Louise Fleetwood. Manika Gupta. Kelsey May Harbour. Leonie Helvich. Amanda Nabila Binti Akmal. Jason Penny. Michaela Abena Barua Safo. Tesmin Tamazist. Zoe Vickers. John Williams. Mental health. Marina Barwell. Yu Dai. Shingu Du. Shivani Anil. Shinavi Anil Gaikwad. Jing Gao. Stephanie Elise Harris. Nur Hazik Nadiha Binte Hayden. Jay Jones. Laura Kazitskaite. Chantal Loco. Lucy Marshalsea. Ananya Nair. Alice Plate. Chloe Poole. Fiza Jahan Shah. Amulya Shishapulan. Orvi Shukla. Garima Singh. Jia Tang. Yanli Wang. Wei Yu. Hongxi Wei Zhang. Psychology. Precious Abu. Nilesh Arjunyan Raja. Amelia Casey. Maida Sherakut. Hawa Farah. Vivian Rose Fry. Sophie Hayes. Kate Hannah Jenkins. Ellis Jones. Veronica Shea. Muskam Maimi. Saleha Mahomed Per Mahomed. Ye Twang Shio.
Adjustments. So take your time. Page 10, we need to cross them out. Number 32, Rachel Ting. And then on page 12. Next page again. And it's next to each other, 106 and 107.
Okay.
They're all not going to turn up.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Yes. Sumaya Sanrangarajan. Eleanor May State. Ina Verma. Wenhao Yang. Xuan Zhang. Bachelor of Science, Human Neuroscience. Ruben Fletcher. Psychology, Isha Gill. Binal Kaur. Sadia Khatun. Heidi Steele. Aurora Korsnes Vignier. Jessica White. Psychology with Year Abroad, Alicia Korchu Chan. Bachelor of Science, Human Neuroscience, Mikolai Metal. School of Sport, Exercise and Rehabilitation Sciences, Doctorate in Sport and Exercise Sciences. For research into early specialisation and sport sampling in adult female professional soccer, Matthew Paul Ferguson. For research into the factors that determine career longevity in team sport athletes, Patrick Hogben. Doctor of Philosophy, for research on the measurement of trunk muscle strength in people with chronic low back pain, Shuk Mansi S. Alphabaiti. For research into understanding the molecular signalling of muscle biology, Jitpisut Chun Tong An. For research into computer-based assessment of visuospatial attention following stroke, Ioana Yanaku. For research into how exertional heat stress affects the gut, kidney, and immune systems and physical performance, Rachel Gilworth. For research into the development of effective training strategies in elite football, Rory McGregor. For research into female PE teachers and female students' views and experiences of the implementation of physical education in female schools in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Laila Ismail E. Nahari. For research into novel sustainable protein source for human muscle health, Lucy May Rogers. For research into the neural mechanisms of impulse control impairment in Parkinson's disease, Alia Claire Mackenzie Warden. Master of Science, Georgia Philpott. Master of Science, Advanced Manipulative Physiotherapy, Prachi Vipin Agwal. Dua Sahid S. Alhamzi. Vishaka Manoj Bhatia. Shakshi Indrajit Chandal. Alethea Grace Mercado. Sigrun Caroline Stainsvik. Exercise and Sports Medicine, Football, Sasha Bloomfield. Ananya Aran Gupta. Nihara Subodh Hegde. Himani Sanjay Vartak. High Performance Sport, Jake Austin. Reese Dean Bowley. Molly Bradbury. Thomas Duke. Chloe Jessica Foster. Reese David Harper. Emma Louise Jordan. Donior Koryev. Harry Miles. Hai Han Ung. Jacob Parsonage. Jake Pierce. Jacob Pope. Sophie Beth Saunders. Kian Simpson. Harry Stephen Ralph Sinclair. Jack Michael Turnock. Physical Education and Wellbeing, Rebecca Emma Louise Norman. Physiotherapy Pre-Registration, Abdullah Al-Tamimi. Emma Bennett. Nathan Billings. Jamie Blanchflower. Joliana Botros. Holly Braga. James Buddle. Leanne Federico Bogozin. Pin Phoebe Chung. Luke Gerard Cooley. Catherine Davis. Eva Phuong Zung Do. Ruby Rose Joan Everest. Lucy Fitzpatrick. Paul Flint. Benjamin John Forrest. Victoria Catherine Froen. Rory Enrique Gorton. Lauren Meyer Griffiths. Deryn Peter Gungor. Victor Raida Abdullah Hashem. Olivia Holden. Dhruv Nilesh Kumar Intwala. Joshua Neville Jackson. Choi Yu Annie Kong. Molly Ann Kine. Catherine Teresa Mallet. Dalvir Kaur Mann. Lenka Marshall-Kova. Leah McConnell. Alex William Menzies. Jack Miller. Arjun Delatre Mistry. Charlie Neal. Sarah Elizabeth Palmer. RJ Panasar. Isha Prashant. Robin Royston. Poppy Isabel Sagar. Saima Sami. Daniel John Mark Strickland. Nathan Surtee. Zoe Helen Taylor Ridgway. Megan Watkins. Hamza Zaman. Bachelor of Science, Sport, Exercise and Health Sciences, Zari Anafi. Alex Burgess. Megan Costall. Anthony Fock. Damilola Ian. Joshua Luke Kemp. Holly Lindberg. Joseph Quinn. Sajjad Habib M. Shaheen.
Well, I'm Adam Tickell. I'm the University Vice-Chancellor, as you heard before. And I just want to give huge congratulations, first of all, not to the people in the back of the room, but to all of those of you who made such a racket. You really brought this evening to life, so thank you very much. But most of all, huge congratulations to all of the new graduates from the University of Birmingham. This really is a joyful, a really joyful moment. And as people walk across the stage, then clearly, you can see nervousness in the faces of some people, but real pride and joy in your faces. And I have to say, real pride and joy in those noises to celebrate your successes. Today is a day of celebration, of reflection, and of anticipation. Graduating in December carries a real special symbolism, not just because you have to walk out into the dark. Winter invites us to pause, to reflect on the journey that brought us here, and to look forward to new beginnings. So today marks the end of one chapter and the start of countless others. The achievements that brought you here today are remarkable, and they genuinely deserve to be celebrated. So today, reflect on the journey that brought you here and the moment of hope for your future. Appreciate the resilience, the determination, and the creativity that have carried you through challenges and triumphs, to celebrate your hard work and to look forward to the opportunities that await you. In graduating from Birmingham today, you join a family of more than 400,000 Birmingham alumni in 170 different countries. We think we've got graduates in every country of the world except in North Korea. So if you have any contact with anybody in North Korea that they have graduated from here, drop me a note. The stories of our graduates are woven into the fabric of our university's amazing history. Stories of courage, innovation and impact. And as you heard from Bill in his opening remarks, this year marks 125 years since the university received its Royal Charter. Amongst those stories was one of my predecessors, Raymond Priestley, who was the Vice-Chancellor during the war years and into the early 1950s. Priestley played a key role in shaping sports education in Britain, and he was instrumental in launching the first undergraduate physical education programme in 1946 at this university that ultimately led to the School of Sport and Exercise and Rehabilitation Sciences. He was a pioneering spirit. He showed huge resilience on 2 Atlantic expeditions, including surviving 7 months stranded without any rations. I literally have no idea how he ate. I mean, I'm sitting there reading this and I'm thinking, how on earth did he survive without any rations in the Antarctic? But again, if you've got any ideas, then drop me a note. But stories like that remind us that progress begins with imagination and leadership is about service and courage. I hope that your time at Birmingham has given you the knowledge, the skills and the values that will empower you to make a difference. Graduates from this university are intellectually curious, future-focused, and should act with humility and good judgment. Your actions have the power to make a difference to people's lives, and I hope you choose to make that difference a positive one. If you walk down the corridors on either side of the Great Hall as you leave this afternoon, you'll see museum objects, artworks, manuscripts, photographs, and films that tell the stories of the people behind the university. These too are stories of discovery, perseverance, creativity, and courage, and your stories now join theirs. Standing on this stage at our formal opening over a century ago, the English King Edward VII laid down a challenge to our students. He said, "I say that the honour and the dignity of this university are largely in your hands, and I look to you to initiate and hand down worthy traditions to your successors." His words remain true today. Our stories will always be connected. Each one of you is a part of the University of Birmingham's legacy, and each one of you will help shape what this university becomes. You're the living legacy of Birmingham, and our next 125 years begin with you. If you ever doubt yourself, just remember this. You're a University of Birmingham graduate, and that should make you unstoppable. Congratulations once again. I declare the congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study, the education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you're watching from, this is not just an ending. It is the beginning of something exceptional. The live stream has now ended.